Welcome back to another episode of Bald and Sassy. It is week 2 of our Mind Games Winning the War Between Your Ears series. Yeah,
Constant struggle, no matter what.
it's going to be there. It's going to be there. This week we're kind of diving a little bit into comparison in social media. The whole mentality, everyone's winning except for me, the FOMO.
Oh, yeah.
That just like you see everyone's in the perfect relationship. They're the athlete. Oh, well, they're got the pay raise. All the things, right?
Everything seems fine on the surface. And
because Instagram is definitely real. It's not like your highlight reel or anything. Right?
The 2-3 times a year that you post. And
right. Even if you post 10 times a day.
Yeah.
So that's maybe 10 minutes out of your day.
It's what is probably the highlight of your day that you're
right
making everyone aware
or
of.
It could have been, nowadays, it could have been a trash part of your day and you just made it look like it was good and then went right back to, it's just completely fake, right?
Yeah.
The big idea kind of is comparison steals joy because it shifts your focus from your purpose to performance, right? So focus. We talk about it in working out, in athletes and working out. A lot of times they tell you have to focus on the discipline, not the outcome.
Yeah.
You look at Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, they made thousands and thousands and thousands of shots. But they're just doing it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, basically on a daily basis they're doing it.
Like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning didn't have a strong arm, wasn't super athletic, was not the most accurate, but he was the most elementally sound quarterback probably ever. And he would go through and he would do walkthroughs of every single play and talk about his foot placement and practice every single drop back on every different play hundreds and hundreds of times. He was just had the fundamentals down.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And so that's why when he went out there, he was just ready for it was just boom, boom, boom.
Well, that and he could read a defense like nobody's business.
Yeah. But part of that was his rigorous to just the disciplines and the fundamentals of what are they doing? What are this thing? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But if he didn't have that, he wouldn't have necessarily it's not like he's Josh Allen and has that arm, right? Or Drew Brees and has that
the Brett Favre gunslinger
right, that there's a little bit more talent. He had to hone his skills a lot more, and now he's considered one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Uh-huh.
Right? But if he was trying to compare himself to Tom Brady, well, they're different players on different teams with different coaches.
I mean, you could also argue that Tom Brady wasn't the greatest physical specimen ever either.
Yes.
He was very much a smart quarterback that used what he had in terms of abilities to the best.
Advantage.
Yeah.
But if he was trying to be Peyton Manning or Peyton Manning was trying to be him, it's not going to work out. They had to learn how to be the best versions of themselves and focus more on what their purpose was than how their performance held up to somebody else's.
Yeah.
And even if you look at the workouts, right? Tom Brady did a bunch of very different things from a lot of things, and it worked for him. But what for other people worked for them. I mean,
and I think what's really hard about it is even what we're doing right now is comparison. No matter what you do in terms of social media, especially, people get literally paid salaries in order to discuss comparing one player to another player. So
we get hundreds of views.
I mean, ESPN is around for the sake of not just being able to watch a game, but you listen to any of the sportscasters, they're comparing, hey, you remember when Tom Brady was winning all these Super Bowls and doing these things?
Yep.
Well, this quarterback that we are watching right now is doing something that's Tom Brady-esque.
And how much is that stealing from them that it's let them be them?
Yeah. I mean,
is this the next Josh Allen? No, it's the first so-and-so.
New England Patriots now. Drake May is a very different style quarterback than Tom Brady, but they're saying, oh, he's our franchise guy, and there's going to be nothing but comparison of Drake May as long as he's a New England Patriot are you living up to the Tom Brady standard?
Right. And, times, they have changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll start like our first scripture is right, Galatians 6:4-5. Let each person examine his own work, and then he can take pride in himself alone and not compare himself with someone else. For each person will have to carry his own load. Right? I think there's the conversation, like if you were to get 10 people in a room and you were to all put your troubles in the middle of the table and all the stuff you're dealing with, 9 times out of 10 you're picking yours back up. Like your load is your load to carry. Your struggles are your struggles to carry. Like, and we've been prepared some through life for some of that like, well, all my hardest things, I could go to yours and be like, well, I don't want Chris's struggles. Thanks, you can keep those. You can have them back. I will keep mine. But if we're constantly trying to compare, like even you get to our age, right? Like it's like, oh, well, so-and-so's making more than me. So-and-so got the promotion. But like, I might have a better home life than that person, right? I might have a better faith than that person. So like it's like not a better faith, but like a more strong, secure like faith, right? Like whatever it is, like there's differences, and so like we try to compare, then it's like, well, yeah, I'm not there, but then they're not as good as me here, and like what are we doing?
And I mean, it happens all the time with like, especially guys working out. Oh, like I see him lifting, 2 plates over there. I can barely bench 1 plate, like on each side. Starting to compare like that, but you also, okay, are you taking into consideration how long they've been working out? Are you taking into consideration what your physical weight is? Because that's going to make a big difference. You benching your body weight compared to them benching their body weight, and they outweigh you by 75 pounds. It makes a big difference.
Like if I'm going to try to go work out with Jared Verse, probably not going to go well. He's going to beat me in everything.
Aaron Donald?
Yeah. Even Jared Verse worked out with him once, and he was like,
no,
I don't
that man is on another level.
I don't want any part of that. He was like, I was dying.
I want to see Aaron Donald and Rock do a workout together.
I think Aaron Donald takes it all day.
I think so too, but I would love to see.
Because there's pretty actor muscles, and there's hitting other grown men at full force muscles.
Yeah. But I feel like The Rock was very much like, he lives in the gym.
Yeah.
Who is it? Mark Wahlberg has an incredible workout.
Oh yeah, he's up 3:00 every morning.
Yeah.
Marky Mark. I do his. He always has different gloves in the gym, and they're all just like cheap Home Depot construction gloves. That's the same thing I do. I was like, yeah, I don't need your fancy. I was like, yeah, just regular.
I don't need your $30-$40 workout gloves. Yeah.
Get a 4-pack for $12, bro. Yeah. That's gonna last me all year. Let's go.
Rubber gardening gloves.
I don't like the rubber ones. I like to have a little bit of free movement, but because I have some pretty gnarly weights out there, and those rubber ones will get ripped to shreds real fast. And they got little rubber pieces my dog tries to eat. It's just weird. But if you look with social media, it's in 2022, 95% of teens use YouTube, 67 use TikTok, 62 use Instagram.
Jeez.
That's insane. And if we were to do, who gets the hours report on their phone every week? Do you get the usage report?
I don't.
I don't know if iPhone does it. It'll be like, here's your screen time.
You actually have to look it up for Android, at least to my knowledge. I don't get the report unless I look.
Because you want to see your screen time? I was like, no.
No, I don't.
No. Yeah. A large part of mine is it's just like you're on the phone a lot, and it's like GPS in the background.
95% of teens use YouTube. Wow.
Yeah. It's 2022, right?
Instagram internal research.
Yeah, and so Instagram internal research through the Wall Street Journal also came out with a report showing that teen girls reported worsened body image just due to comparison, right?
Yeah.
I think we see it all the time. Even a lot of these fitness influencers and stuff like that, they'll talk about that. Be like, yeah, you think this is it, but once I get that, you see the comparisons. Here's just me. All right, here's me, and they'll do and here's what I do to get this picture, and it's doing the super pump, the lighting directly above, spraying down with water, all of these things to get the perfect shot. But we just think that you walk around that way. And then you also have with guys, you have steroids. There's a lot of people out there that it's yeah, well, first of all, they might have been doing this for 30 years, and they're using gear. So that comparison is really gonna is going to steal. I mean, it's comparison is a thief, right? Like it just you're never going to live up. There's always someone stronger. There's always someone more successful. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no matter what you're trying to accomplish in life, somebody is further along in that goal than you are.
Yeah. And then if not, you're just not looking very good. Like there's always going to be someone farther ahead of something, right? Studies even show that social media use, surprise, surprise, does correlate with higher depression symptoms in 13 to 24-year-olds. Like it just creates this because what happens is we're watching and it's not real. Like a lot of what we're seeing is not real. Even the like follow me in the life of like it's put on. And so like there's just this whole
day in the life of.
Right. And you're like, yeah, sure. They're not showing you the true wake up or, there's just so much. And there's some real things out there. But even then, we're just using be like, oh, I wish I could be this. I wish I could be that. Oh, I mean, I have to watch like, oh, I wish we had the followers of this podcast, or I wish I had this, or I wish I could have these guests on, like all of these things. And it's like, but I'm not them.
Yeah. Or, you're thinking that you want to be like this person. And then years later, something comes out. Oh, okay, they really weren't a great person, or
they had this serious struggle that they were dealing with, like one you're seeing right now. Like I know, when you compare to when you're talking in the podcast, bro, was like Joe Rogan, right? But Joe Rogan before he like turned pro, I think it was like 10 years before it was 3 years before he ever got paid to do a podcast, and then it was like it took a while for him to get big, like, and he didn't even realize how big he was at first. But all we see is the, $300 million contract. It's like, well, what are you willing to stick with for 3 years without getting paid to do it?
Yeah.
What are you willing to just stick out? And so like we compare that, and it's like, well, are we willing to do what it takes to get that? And if not, then like, what are we fretting about?
Yeah.
Like, be where your feet are, right? Psalm 139:14 says, I will praise you because I've been remarkably and wonderfully made. Like you were made individual, one of one, for a different purpose. But when you try to step into somebody else's purpose by comparing yourself to them, you're never going to hold up because that's their purpose. It's not yours.
Yeah.
That's their walk. It's not yours.
That's not to say, don't strive for something or try to become better at something that you're passionate about. You don't want idols, but you want people that will help you to like give you a process and get better at something that you're wanting to get better at. So, you don't want to, you want comparison in a healthy way.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things we're trying to focus on is healthy comparison as opposed to just like idolizing something.
Yeah.
And
like
really like making yourself feel bad.
Yeah. I think if we go back to last week, right? We talked about the 3 things. Like, is it true? Is it kind? And is it helpful? I think, especially with comparison, like it's one thing if like you're in sales and this person is outperforming you in sales and you work for the same company and do similar things. So now you're like, okay, comparing like, how do I say it? How do you say it? Where do you do this? Where are you doing that? Or even if like you're in high school and say you're on the football team and you're wide receiver too, and you're looking okay, like, but you're both route runners versus long ball, right? And it's, how do they take this first step? Like so it's comparing, but it's comparing with improvement versus comparing to beat yourself up. Right? Is this comparison helpful?
Yeah.
Is it kind? Right? It's like, it's not kind to compare any rookie quarterback or first 5-year quarterback to Tom Brady. It is not kind.
Yeah.
That's just not fair. And like, that's what with football, the thing that cracks me up is the comparisons are always like, no one's ever like, oh, like this kind of reminds me of Zach Wilson year 2, or this kind of reminds me of, Chad Henne. Like, it's always like, oh, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, the best of the best. And you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then you get the endemic. You have someone like Dylan Raiola who's trying to do everything. Like,
yeah, I mean, occasionally, like, you'll see them do that when they're talking about, like, oh yeah, remember the struggles that Peyton Manning had in his first year with like a ton of interceptions.
I think the record.
Yeah, if I'm remembering right, he still holds the record for most interceptions by a rookie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, sometimes when you're trying to defend certain players, you'll see the media be like, oh, yeah, but do you remember when Peyton Manning was doing this? Like, we have to give these guys a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but they will bring up the point every once in a while.
Right, yeah, and so I think it's just like one of those things that it's like, hey, man, we got to be really cognizant of when and where we're making comparisons. Especially, like, this is really more focused on ourselves, right? And I mean, I don't know how it hits differently from guys and girls, right? I think we both struggle with that. I don't know.
I think it gets
not a girl.
I think it gets talked about more for like different things.
Yeah.
Because it's not like guys don't have body image issues. Like
we do.
Yeah. It doesn't get talked about as much. Like I remember in middle school, like a guy like hitting me on the chest and being like, "Hey, you got boobs." And it's just like, what the heck, man? Like, we're in middle school. Like, I'm not lifting a ton of weights. Like, I play a ton of soccer, but yeah, okay. I guess, like, I have a chest a little bit from just how my dad was built. Like, my dad has a big upper body, and, like, I hadn't grown into that yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it definitely is something that guys struggle with in terms of body issues. And you know, I feel like with guys, it's comparison of cars. It's comparison with, are you making money? Are you, do you got the girl? Like, there's a ton of comparison in that sense.
Yeah.
And girls, I feel like it's, oh, how many friends do you have? And like, it's different type of stuff, but it's all still very, very much something that can be mentally damaging.
Yeah. The enemy comes at us in different ways.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, comparison is what I use. And I think one thing to look at, too, is like when someone else wins, how do you handle that?
Yeah.
Because that's going to tell you a lot about your healthy and unhealthy levels of comparison. And like when you look at someone else wins, do you feel like that takes away from you? Right? If you're feeling like, oh, they won, so I lose. Like, well, if you're playing sports against another team and they win, then yes, you lose.
Uh-huh.
But like, it's very rare. Like we can do that in life. Like it's like, oh, they got the promotion, so like I lose. Like it's not a zero-sum game.
Yeah. It's very much a long-term game.
Yeah, and what I think too, like define what winning is for you, right? Like people would look at like it's when you talk about like what is success, like Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl rings and doesn't have full custody of his children and is divorced. And like has to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'd rather not have 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we got to be careful with comparison because it's like when we compare, we only want the best parts. So we're like, well, I don't want all that stuff. Well, that comes with it. Like that's part of it. Like everything, every gain, every yes comes with a no. Right?
Yeah, the more you focus on one thing in particular in your life, the other things will fall by the wayside.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those things that like you have to decide with yourself and through prayer like what success looks like for you, and then follow your own purpose and your own path versus trying to compare. Well, I'm not where this person is. I'm not where that person is, because they could be looking at you saying the same thing about something different, right? And that's what the enemy does is he just wants to keep us distracted by anything that's not pursuing Christ.
Yeah. Like I'm not as good of a speaker as you are. You know, you're much more outgoing. And if I constantly just try to focus on like how much better you are at that and how much more natural you are about that and not focus on, okay, I'm more of a critical thinker and I do other things a little bit better. Like, if I just constantly focused on what you were doing better than me, that's not healthy for our relationship as friends.
Yeah, and you're not me. Like, I wish I could just sit quietly more like you. Right? But, like,
Yeah,
I'm
and
not quiet.
not something that like I would even think about. Oh yeah, I don't have my mind bouncing off of like 10 other ideas right now.
And so, yeah, it's like one of those things that like, oh, you want to be able to have the verbosity, but you don't want to have the overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, it all comes with it. And I think more often than not, if we were to be honest with people and really put everything on the table, more often than not, you would come back and be like, yeah, I'll just take my life back.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, you're comfortable with your own discomforts.
Yeah. And I feel like people are more specially equipped to deal with their struggles. Because you just haven't been through the same thing. Any last tidbits?
No, I would just say, please take anything on social media with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Don't try to focus on where these people are really pushing as they're perfect or they've got everything together. Nobody does. Some people have found more of a balance and they've been working on that for a long time. And, it's okay to have people that you look up to and ask advice from and try to better yourself. But make sure that, you're looking at God, you're looking at the right people to try and guide you in bettering yourself.
Yeah. Step into your purpose, not somebody else's.
Yeah.
Life's a lot better that way. All right, we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Bye, y'all. Oh, you're going real tilted now.
Gangsta. I've been drinking too much toilet water.
Your toilet water?
Toilet water.
Barf. Oh, there's the butter chicken.
Yummy. That's good though, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll get you. It'll have you for like an hour or so. You're like, oh, killing me slowly, killing me softly. Why is this on my thing?